An island lighthouse is a magical place. It can be dreamlike on a warm summer day, and yet it can be overpowering during the roar of a winter's night snow squall. Wood Island Lighthouse is one such place. It sits alone on a beautiful wooded island just a mile off the coast of Biddeford Pool, Maine. Hi, my name is Ann Bassett, and I'm one of the volunteers with the Friends of Wood Island Light. I'd like to invite you to come along with us now for a tour of the lighthouse and the island.
This boat belongs to the Friends of Wood Island Light. We've been formed up for almost 2 years. A couple of years ago, we were looking at the lighthouse, and a couple of us said to the Coast Guard, "Why don't you give us that lighthouse and we'll restore it?" And they kind of called our bluff, and we did. Everyone here are non-paid volunteers. No one gets paid a cent. Whenever the boat goes out, we usually have 3 people on it. We have someone to captain it, a first mate, and we have a hostess that goes on the island. Running it 6 trips a week, it adds up. Once we land on the ramp, there's an elevated walkway that goes about a half a mile from the boathouse to the lighthouse. It's about 40 inches wide. Some places it's elevated and it does not have handrails.
Wood Island Light was initially contracted for, we could say, in 1806. The final construction was completed in 1808. It was commissioned by Thomas Jefferson. It is the 2nd oldest lighthouse in the state of Maine. It is the 13th oldest lighthouse in the United States. So even though you look at it and it's not as spectacular as some, it's got a pretty elegant history. For those of you who wonder, electricity was brought to the island not until 1963. So until then, initially the house ran on, as you would expect, wood, then coal, then heating oil, to run the furnaces. There's a 175-foot freshwater well that went in the 1930s that pumps into a 2,000-gallon cistern in the basement. The last keepers did leave in 1986, and obviously if you look around at the condition, being empty is not kind to a house. Being invaded by gulls is not kind to a house, and being invaded by vandals is not kind to a house. The reason that most of the windows are covered, of course, is a combination between gull protection and vandal protection from kids who could get over to the islands and let themselves in. Most people don't realize that starting in the late 1980s, the government started selling or privatizing lighthouses across the country. Wood Island, by the way, is on loan to us. The Coast Guard maintains authority here. We just get to do all of the maintenance. There are many lighthouse groups across the United States, but what we think sets us apart is the special attention we pay to the social history of the island. Everybody gets to know the statistics. What we've done is interviewed all the families of the keepers to get the anecdotes, the special stories, to help make the experience real. We'd like our visitors to be able to imagine what it'd be like to have lived on Wood Island themselves as part of a keeper's family.
As you can see from this brief visit, both the house and the tower are in desperate need of repair. We've worked with a wonderful local architect and have all of our plans and renovations ready to go. We have the Light Runner, our custom constructed boat that can take construction materials and workers over to the island. If you're moved by history, if you love lighthouses, and if you're capable, please donate generously to help us preserve this piece of American history. Thank you.